ASMR Magical Tools. Hello, Aries. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Aries, this is going to be your 2022 tarot forecast. Tarot forecast. So I have another video explaining the different tools that I will be using in this particular reading. But we'll be starting with the Moon Power Tarot. I did want to take this opportunity to remind everyone that I do offer readings through my website, and I also have a Lenormand deck that is available through the website. So if you are interested in procuring my services, I invite you to head over there. I will also be making custom videos available there soon. Aries, the first part of the reading is going to be a month by month, blow by blow. I will not be using a clarification deck. Rather, I have my geode over here for scrying, so there will be more channeled messages. Aries, I'm going to pull 3 cards now for the month of January. We have 3 pentacles, but not the 3 of pentacles. We have the King and the Knight of Pentacles reversed, and then we also have the 4 of Pentacles reversed. So together, the Knight of Pentacles and the 4 of Pentacles reversed tells me that you're going to have trouble holding on to money in the month of January. However, because we have this King of Pentacles here upright, that should not be a problem for you. So there will be some monetary concerns in the month of January, but everything will be fine because you are already very well financially established. So for the month of February, now we have this Queen of Pentacles coming out reversed. So the expenditures that occurred in the month of January may have been a setback to you, somewhat financially. We also have the 3 of Swords and the 6 of Swords, both of these in the upright. Three of Swords is about arguments. It is about interpersonal conflict, and it can also be about breakups and things like that. I consider Three of Swords more of a breakup card than the Ten of Swords, for example. But this is possibly going your separate ways with another person, because we also have this Six of Swords here, which is about a departure, leaving a situation. So it could be that all of that conflict has caused you to leave a particular situation. The conflict could have been about money. That is entirely possible. This one feels right, but not for March. This one's for June. So January, February, March, April, May, June. Okay. The June cards, I think, are trying to fly out for me. So the next month, March, I'm going to pull the top card from here. We have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is a very confident person, someone who lights up a room when they walk into it, very vivacious, full of life. And then we also have the Hermit. So just because you light up a room doesn't mean that you have to share that light with others. It's very interesting. We do have, so this figure on the card of the Hermit is reading by the light of this bare bulb suspended from the ether, excuse me. And that could be similar to the light shed by the Queen of Wands. Also, the idea of a torchbearer, somebody who is illuminating the way for others, but who does not necessarily interact with those people. We also have the Seven of Cups here, and the Seven of Cups is about having a lot of different options open to you. There can be aspects of confusion and chaos to this card as well, such that perhaps you, as the Queen of Wands and the Hermit, are lighting the way and showing others the way that they need to go in this time of chaos. So for the month of April, which a lot of you, happy birthday in March for those of you who have March birthdays, and then some of you are going to have April birthdays. So I have the Nine of Cups reversed here, that things are almost perfect in April, but not quite perfect. The Ten of Wands reversed, that you are shedding burdens. So here in March, we see that you have the possibility for a lot of responsibility. And we are looking at this escape from conflict in February, and also some financial dislodging in January. So there are a few different areas of your life in which you will have the ability in April to shed some kind of burden or responsibility. And finally in April we have the Two of Swords. So decision could be made for you. It could be that because you are raising your vibration, so we see that with the Nine of Cups reversed, that you're raising your vibration. That these burdens fall away from you, and it's not necessarily an active choice that you are going to be making, but rather the natural order, which is that as you raise your own vibrations, things will fall away from you that are no longer serving you. And that can be very difficult. Remember back here in February we had the Three of Swords and the Six of Swords. So that Two of Swords reversed might have to do with situations and people leaving your life based on who you have become, who you have grown into. And let's look at the month of May. Oh, the star card in this deck is really wonderful. Yes, so we have the Two of Pentacles reversed, and we also have the Ace of Wands reversed. So this can be about lacking energy and lacking balance in your life with both of these minor arcana cards. And remember, this is for the month of May, so you might be exhausted by a lot of the things that have already happened in the year of 2022. But with these cards, we have the Star upright. So this card can be about you obtaining your fortunes, reaching your hopes and dreams, and other ways in which you sparkle and shine. Remember that we have the Star card here, and then we also have this you coming out as the Queen of Wands back here in the month of March. So remember, I put this card aside for June, for the month of June. And I'll do the flop for all of these at the same time. So let's see what we have here. We've got the Sun card in reverse. So that was the card that flopped out, I believe. It could have been this Four of Cups reversed also. So we have this Sun card reversed, and again, this is very much like the Nine of Cups reversed, that everything is almost perfect. Almost perfect. So we have a lot of good things happening for you so far in the year of 2022. But we also have some things happening, Aries, that are probably not to your taste, such that things are generally very good for you in the year ahead, but that there are just little things like not having enough energy, or feeling like you don't have enough money from time to time. All of these little things, but overall everything's going to be very good. We do have this Four of Cups reversed, so this is kind of a card where like 4 different guys have a crush on you, or 4 different girls, depending, or 4 different non-binary people, but like all non-binary people are super hot, so like if any of them had a crush on you, this wouldn't be the case. But basically that 4 people have a crush on you and you don't like any of them back, and so you're kind of just like trying to dodge them. It's that kind of situation. It could be like getting 4 different job offers from like Wingstop, In-N-Out, Steak and Shake, and like Walmart, and you're just not super eager to take any of collaboration for you, but in this case, it might just be that you have a plethora of bad options available to you. It can also be like the Two of Swords reversed, in that an option is chosen for you, so that's also possible. We have the Three of Pentacles here in the upright, and the Three of Pentacles is a card of collaboration, collaborative work, group projects at your job. It can also be that you've been at a job long enough that people respect your professional opinion. So maybe you've been at a job long enough to have people's professional respect, but not long enough to get the promotion that you deserve. Or that you're able to take part in collaborative projects, but maybe there's an artist or another creative person that you would really like to do a collaboration with, and you're not quite popular enough yet, or they don't see how working with you could benefit them. It could be something like that, but I do see lots of beneficial collaborations for June. July. We've got some swords, we've got some wands. So the Five of Wands, competition, and rivalries. None of the participants trying to gravely injure each other, but rather to train each other up. Now, in this particular case, this card is upright, so we don't get that crabs in a bucket mentality, which is good. It's a very unhealthy mentality to have. Everyone should be striving to be successful together. So, where we have this in June about creative collaboration, here in July we have this rivalry and competition kind of cropping up. We have two fives for July. We have the Five of Wands, and we also have the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is kind of a ruthless card in that there is a clear victor. There is a clearly successful person. And so, Aries, this could be you, the Queen of Swords, refusing to compromise the truth and the quality in July. But this Queen of Swords could also be an ally to you. Could be an air sign, but overall the Queen of Swords, what this energy means is that this person here, this Queen of Swords here, is someone who refuses to compromise the quality of the final product and refuses to compromise the truth. Now she is in the upright, so that's very good for July for you, Aries, because you do not want to mess with the Queen of Swords in reverse. It's a very toxic, manipulative energy. And you might not know this person yet. I feel like in May or June you could be getting this job. And then in July, really getting into the thick of it with your coworkers. And this could be a contract of some kind if you do freelance, creative type work. Alright, Aries, so now we are looking at the month of August. first of all, we have the Queen of Cups coming out. The Queen of Cups is a very loving, nurturing person. So this could be you, especially if you have water placements strongly featured in your chart. But this could be the same ally as we're seeing here with the Queen of Swords also. And you can see that this Queen of Cups has a lot of bottles around her as well. So this might be a person who stays well hydrated, or could be a drinking buddy. We have the Four of Swords, which is about a period of rest. So, the Queen of Cups and the Four of Swords coming out together, it could be that this Queen of Cups person is helping you establish a place in your life that you can rest. We have the Two of Cups coming out with this also. So this Queen of Cups could be a romantic partner for you. And this Queen of Cups doesn't necessarily have to be a woman. The Queen of Cups energy is just very receptive and open energy. It's a more passive energy than the King of Cups. The King of Cups is somebody who will pay your parking ticket for you because he knows that you don't have enough money, out of the goodness of his heart. Unlike the King of Pentacles, who will do it because he wants you to pay him back with interest. I guess the King of Pentacles could be doing it also, but he's probably got other motivations. But the Queen of Cups is somebody who also is not terribly forthcoming about their own emotional state. And I really do strongly feel like this Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords, even though those things seem very diametrically opposed, this could be the same person. And that this is somebody you've met through work who has a very pragmatic approach to success at work, but at home is very nurturing to you. Next, we're going to be looking at the month of September. September. We have the Seven of Pentacles. This is all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. But in this case, you're starting to see the results of a lot of hard work. So back here in May and June, whenever you started this project, now you are starting to see results of that project long term. We do have the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. So, the Seven of Pentacles upright with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Either the payout is not as much as you were promised, or you're going to have a difficult time collecting all of the money that you are owed. It is also possible that the first payout is made, but then consecutive payments are still owed to you. We do have the Strength card coming out with that, which is Leo's card. And so the Strength card could be forbearance in the face of this protracted payout settlement type deal. We'll see if any cards come out about a possible court case or anything like that, but this might just be having to wait for the money that you are due. days. So October. Yeah, this one. We have a few wands, a couple of wands, and then we also have the death card. The death card. So, the death card in the upright here, there is going to be some major change coming in for you in the month of September. And if this was a contract type job that you got in May or June, then it could have been like a few month long contract and it's up in September. And so major changes come in. We have the Two of Wands here. And the Two of Wands is about planning for the future, about looking ahead, charting a course. And then we have the Six of Wands reversed. So the Six of Wands is about victory, and because it is reversed here, it could be that this victory is coming for you in the future and is not currently available in the month of September. But remember, we have the Ten of Pentacles reversed here in August, and we've got the Six of Wands in reverse here in September. So it could be that this is a continuation of that situation, waiting to get your payout, your final reward from the work that you've done. And now we'll look at November. We do have the Justice card coming out, so legal action could possibly be taken in this particular situation. But with the Justice card upright, that's letting you know that eventually you will prevail and you will get what is owed to you. We also have this Eight of Wands in the upright, which is wonderful, wonderful news, because the Eight of Wands is about swift closure to a situation. And then finally, we have the Six of Pentacles reversed here, and it could be that because of different financial situations for you over the past year that you've had to borrow money from somebody. But that when that settlement comes in, you'll be able to pay those people back. The Six of Pentacles can also be in the reverse, a loss of money through speculation. So be very careful in the month of November about taking financial risks on things. And finally, the month of December. And we have 3 cards in the reverse, which normally you don't like to see, but actually, because we are talking about the last month of the year, this could mean that things are being set up for 2023. So all of these are very strong figures. We have from the Minor Arcana, we have the King of Wands. The King of Wands being a fire sign person. And in the reverse like this, the King of Wands can be kind of a tomcat, kind of like unfaithful, using charisma and charm to manipulate others. But this could also be in the upright, the energy that you, Aries Aries are manifesting into 2023 and leading by charisma rather than manipulating others. We also have the two strong feminine influences of the major arcana, which is the High Priestess and the Empress. The Empress is a wonderful creative energy, and the High Priestess is all about knowledge and self-discovery. So these could be the energies that you will be entering 2023 embodying. That you will have knowledge about the road ahead, that you will be able to lead with your charisma, and that you will be well on your way to manifesting the things that you desire. So now I'm going to... What else do I need to know about the month of January for Aries? What else does Aries need to know for January? A bit of a pickle. A bit of a pickle. That there's going to be some kind of situation which comes up. A quandary, if you will, and that is why there is a financial expenditure required for January. What do I need to tell Aries about the month of February? Be content with the friends that you already have in the month of February. Why is that important? Because you're going to be prone during that time to conflict. And it's not anything against you personally, obviously. Only that it's going to be a time to kind of conserve your social resources. What about March? It's okay to go into hiding in March. What about April? I'm hearing very strongly self-respect. So there could be plans that are made for your birthday or things like that. Always make sure that your primary focus is your own self-respect. What about the month of May? May and June are going to be very similar, and it's going to be focusing on getting that coin, focusing on getting your money situation, your next money situation set up, because that's going to be taking you into the end of the year. But that will be coming in for you in May. So June we've already talked about. July. Go ahead and let someone know if you have a crush on them. That you don't need to keep that a secret. And the longer you wait to talk to that person, they could be talking to someone else too. Now I see it working out with you and someone, but I just feel like there might be like more messiness involved if you're not as forthcoming with them, just because they're going to feel like they have options open. And the same for August. What about September? Don't necessarily pay a retainer to a lawyer in September, but do investigate legal professionals in your field and area of expertise in September. Watch out in October and November. November specifically. Watch out for what? Spies. again with the corporate espionage. So there could be a situation where you are out in public and you feel like, oh, I can do this because nobody is going to be paying attention to what I'm doing, and I'm not entirely sure what it is, but it could be used against you in this court case. And even if, because remember we saw that the justice card was coming out upright, even though you may very well have success in the legal case, that it could be very embarrassing for you to have that particular situation dragged through the mud. And then December. Yes, all of these cards are going to be coming into their upright energies come 2023. Come 2023. Alright, Aries, so now we are going to do the overview spread, and this is going to be for 2022 overall. These cards are really beautiful and well done, but they're enormous. And as I mentioned several times, I have like the smallest little baby hands in the whole world. Yes, even smaller than their hands. And yet still I find pairs of vintage gloves that don't fit me, so. That's just really funny to me. And for this spread, I'm just going to be doing the typical Celtic Cross. And then I'm going to use the Celestial Bodies deck to do the 12 houses spread on top. So, here in the past, 7 of Swords, treachery, deceit, self-deception, all of these things, you can see that the main figure here is kind of looking at all these reflections of themselves, which are but reflections and not a true depiction of who they are. So this could be something, this card is upright, this could be something that you are going through right now, here at the end of 2021, and this could be a situation that carries over into 2022. In the main position for the querent, we have the 4 of Pentacles, so holding onto your resources, conserving your resources, and that is crossed by the Magician card. And the Magician card is all about your power of manifestation. What separates the Magician from the Empress, for example? The Magician is an active manifester, whereas the Empress is a more receptive type of manifestation, in that she is putting good energy out into the universe, but she is, her power of manifestation is aided by others, shall we say. her fertilization comes from without. And although there are species capable of parthenogenesis, there's a gestation within the womb also associated with the empress. Whereas with the magician, that manifestation comes from within the magician and is expressed outwardly. So you are conserving your resources and using them wisely. Here in the Imam Sili position, we have the Six of Cups upright. And the Six of Cups is about things returning from the past. So this could be a love returning from the past. It could be getting a job back that you had in the past, or being in that type of job that you were in previously. From your perspective, we have the King of Wands, influencing others through charisma and charm, and being an effective leader through those avenues. From the outside, people are seeing you as the Four of Swords, that you are taking a rest or a break from something, possibly. So from your position, it looks like you have a very strong sense of who you are and what you're about and what you are striving to accomplish throughout 2022, but that others around you might not perceive you to be doing very much at all. We do have the Tower reversed here in the future, so this could be, remember we had the Death card kind of late in the year, in the month by month. So this could be that situation, and because it's so far in the future, even though it's happening in 2022, you're not quite sure what that's going to be yet. And it might be quite a surprise. The hopes and fears, we have the Six of Swords. You could be hoping to stay in your apartment for another year. You could be hoping to stay where you are and not having to move. Or you could be afraid of stagnancy. Here in the midheaven, we have the Two of Pentacles in the upright, achieving balance throughout the year in 2022, despite all of the crazy changes that will be in store for you as well. And then finally, the final outcome that we have is the Ten of Swords. And this card is very much like the Death card and also very much like the Tower card. It marks a definitive ending to some situation. Now it is in the upright, and the Ten of Swords doesn't necessarily mean that something bad is going to happen. It just means that you are going to have a definitive ending to something. So now I'm not using the entire Celestial Bodies deck. I decided that I wanted to use the astrological cards from this deck. And I also wanted to use like some of the lunar placement cards and other things like that. But it's got like over 100 cards and all kinds of different things that you could use for reading for yourself, or for studying different things as well. So, I really love the Serpent Fire decks. Both of these are Serpent Fire. And the other cool part is that the edges are holographic, so that's kind of neat. So, these are the planetary cards, and I'm gonna lay those out first. And there's like 13 of those, so. And then the astrological cards, the 12 astrological signs. And then these are some other astrological cards. Things like the new moon and the solar eclipse and things like that. Okay, and now it's like really a mess. So now I can get started. The first house, remember that we're back here by this Seven of Swords. And we have some really transformative energies in the first house. First of all, we do have your card, ARIES, coming out for the first house. And we have the south and north nodes of the moon. And we also have lunar eclipse. Now, the lunar eclipse has to do with transformation and the moon being completely erased from the night sky as it falls into the Earth's shadow. The south and north node have to do with destiny and your divine purpose here on Earth. So, what could be happening for you in 2022, especially as it regards your sense of self? is that your idea of what your destiny is in the world could be completely changing for 2022. And especially because we have this card of the Seven of Swords, where perhaps there was a certain amount of self-deception going on about some different areas of your life. So the second house, and the second house is all about money and finance. So your money and finance for 2022. We have Chiron, and we did see quite a bit of transformation regarding your financial situation over the course of 2022. It looks like there is going to be some kind of healing process going on. We have Cancer also. Cancer is all about the home and about one's feelings and the way that those feelings are reciprocated with others. So healing the way that your own emotional states and interactions with others is able to affect your financial situation. And we have the first quarter of the moon. So that is as the moon is waxing. So you have had some success already in finance. But that moving forward, your journey has only begun as far as your wealth is concerned. And remember, we also had the King of Wands coming out here for the second house. And one's self-perceptions changing. How you can be more charismatic to affect people in that way. So now we're getting into the realm of the Imam Seelai part of the reading, which is the third and fourth houses. And we have the Six of Cups here, that something might be returning from your past. Something might return from your past. We have Venus in the third house of communication. Venus is about not just romance, but can also have to do with finance. So there's going to be a lot of talking about money and possibly romance. And then we also have Taurus here. And Venus is native to Taurus, is one of the signs in which Venus is native, the other one being Libra. Venus in Taurus is a very sensual, comfortable energy. It's like a cropped sweatshirt, a cropped velour hoodie. And here we have waning gibbous moon energy. So this is right after the moon is at its most full. It is waning gibbous until it is in the last quarter. And this is an energy of having reached one's maximum amount of fullness, having hit one's peak, possibly. But that Six of Cups here, that things are going to be returning from the past. So where you might feel like you have hit your peak in some area, especially where it comes to romance, you could be getting communication otherwise throughout 2022, and there might be short distance travel associated with that as well. That maybe you start hitting up a bunch of different night spots and meeting new people. It would be something that you had done in the past. So if there were times in the past where you were traveling either around the city a lot or around, it would be trips less than 200 miles. In the fourth house, the fourth house is home and family. We have Saturn, which is a very established energy, a very slow moving energy. And then we also have Pisces, which is a mutable water sign. Pisces has a tendency to be very fantasy-oriented. So we have this very established, slow-moving energy, but then we also have a lot of fantasy and possibly like some less than realistically grounded expectations, I think, also regarding one's home life. But this is waxing crescent moon energy, such that the new moon, right after the new moon, we have the waxing crescent. So adjacent here in the Imam Seelai, we've got the moon right after it's full, and then the moon right after it's at its least full, right after the new moon, which pretty much encompasses the whole spectrum. So that says to me there's going to be a wide spectrum here as far as the energies associated with these things. And this waxing crescent, so with the Saturnian energy, that being kind of slow moving, there might be things, brand new potentials coming in regarding your home situation, things that you never imagined with this Pisces energy, that so many things are possible, but with Saturn it's going to be slow moving and it's going to take some time to get there. So now we're going to look at the 5th house, and the 5th house is love, romance, creativity, and can have to do with children. And this is where we have the 4 of Swords energy that you might have been taking. You might have been perceived as taking a break from some of these things. And here we have the moon. The moon and its emotional ebb and flow. There could be an ebb and flow to your creativity over the next year and to your romance over the next year. This is going to be sextile to where we have this waning gibbous Taurus, Venus and Taurus energy here in the 3rd house. So those things might be very tied together. The amount of communication might be causing an ebb and flow in your creativity and your romantic life. We have Gemini too. Gemini brings in an aspect of duality, but there's also a creativity there. And Gemini also being very good about the communication. Very good about the communication. And then midheaven. And midheaven, very much like the south and north nodes, has to do with destiny, destiny, destiny. So that your destiny might be carved out by some of these aspects of the 5th house. Your passions. What are your passions? What are you passionate about? 5th house rules the heart also. So that is why it's passion. So romance, creativity, and having to do with children. The 6th house. Remember, we have the Tower card over here by the 6th and 7th houses in the future. The 6th house is daily routines and health, and we have Black Moon Lilith. So whereas Chiron is the healer, Black Moon Lilith is kind of like a lot of areas where you might feel misunderstood, where you might feel like the villain in your own story. So there might be things having to do with your health. Scorpio coming out too, which is a very hidden and occult, but also very sexual energy. So, having to do with your health, you could have long-term health issues that you have to take care of. You could end up getting an abortion. You could have like herpes or genital warts. That is a long-term condition that is largely vilified. There could be it has to do with daily routines, so you could be a sex worker and you could be trying to have like a double life between. Now, not all these things are going to be true at once. I'm not saying that that all of these things are going to lead to the other. What I'm saying is that that's kind of the energies that we're looking at here. That there is something, a very dark secret about yourself related to your daily routines or your health that you are trying to keep hidden. And the other card that we have coming through for that is the Imam Seelai. So the Imam Seelai being in opposition to the midheaven, which we had in the 5th house. The Imam Seelai is the nadir of the birth chart, and it has to do with the origins. So this has to do with your origin story. It can be early childhood, but it can also just be the origins of what leads you to your destiny. And remember, we do have this Tower card here in the reverse, so there might be something about that coming through for you in 2022 that you're going to be dealing with this issue head on in order to move forward with your life. The 7th house is our partnerships, and it's also our open enemies. We have Uranus here. Uranus could be bringing in groups of people, groups of different people. And then we have Capricorn. Capricorn being a very pragmatic sign and utilizing the resources around you to your own benefit. Capricorn often associated with jobs, but it's just a very practical earth sign. So you might have groups of people around you that are very helpful to you when it comes to making a living. And we also have the new moon here. The new moon being increase. That you might be forming all of these connections from scratch. And because it is in the house of partnerships, these could be people who come in as business partners. They could be coming in as romantic partners. Or this could be related to the court system in some way also. But with the new moon energy here and the Tower energy here also, it looks like there might be a total severing of ties with a lot of the people that you know now, and then a brand new group of people coming in. Now we'll look at the 8th house. 8th house, 8th house, 8th house. And this 8th house is up here by the hopes and fears. And we had the 6 of Swords there. Possibly that you would be fearing stagnation. Or that you would desire to stay where you are. The energies here are very favorable. The 8th house has to do with transformations. It's also death, sex, and other people's resources. So inheritances are also dealt with by this house. And we have the sun. So whatever this transformative energy is that's coming through is going to be very beneficial. And then we have the sign of Leo. Leo is matters of the heart, so creativity, passion, romance, and can have to do with children also. And remember that Leo's card in the major arcana is the strength card as well as the sun card. So the sun never goes retrograde. It's never in ill aspect, really. And we have waxing gibbous. So this is right before also then the full moon, when the moon is receiving the greatest amount of the sun's light. I do think that there will be a lot of transformation for you in the year of 2022, but it's all going to be for your greater benefit, and it should be very easy to handle. I don't think it's going to be overly stressful for you. Change is always stressful because you don't know what's coming around the corner, right? And sometimes the things that precipitate change can be very stressful. But in this case, because you know what's going to happen ahead of time, it should be much less stressful. Now we're coming up here to the midheaven, which is your destiny for the year ahead, and that is the Two of Pentacles, achieving balance in your life, achieving balance. So the 9th house has to do with elevating oneself. This is long distance travel, higher education, things like that. And we have Mercury, which is about communication. So this could be communication all over the world. You could be learning new languages. We have Sagittarius, which is native to the 9th house. So really redoubling that effect. A mutable fire sign. Very playful energy. A lot of creative energies there, even though it's not strictly Leo energy. It's still fire, creative energy, and can be very good for, like, if you want to write a book, or if you are involved in a religious organization, or are kicking off your own spiritual path. Now, the energy of the moon that we have here with this is the void of course. And void of course is the moon's transit before it changes signs. So that period of time after the last transit, last alignment that it makes with another planetary body, and then when it changes signs. So it's a period of kind of that waiting. I would say it's actually very similar to Four of Swords energy in that there is kind of a lull. There's kind of a lack of direction. But you know what the future holds. So that could be very beneficial for you in 2022. The 10th house is having to do with career. Now remember, we had like some very serious Five of Swords and Five of Wands energy regarding career in the middle of 2022. So that is reflected here by Mars. And we have Aquarius as well. So lots of groups of people involved in this energy. And then the last quarter. So this might be, the last quarter is the waning moon leading up to the new moon. This might be the last quarter of time when you have have to deal with these very highly competitive energies in the workplace. That 2022 might be dominated by these things, but it's kind of wrapping up that cycle for you and moving on to newer and better things. So in the 11th house, remember we have this 10 of Swords. The 11th house can be social media, but really it has to do with groups of which you are a part, groups you're participating in. And here we have Pluto. So indeed, transformation. Remember, that was something I was saying over here in the 7th house also. And that 10 of Swords is the cumulative energy. So Pluto, you're going to see all of your friend groups and groups you're a part of transforming. And of course, we have Libra coming out here. So Libra is about partnerships, and you're going to be seeing a lot of transformation in your partnerships, and it's going to have a lot to do with the groups you are a part of, because we've had the Aquarius energy over here, right? Uranus, we have the Uranus energy over here. We've got Mars in Aquarius here in the 10th house, having to do with career, and then we have Pluto in Libra here in the 11th house, and having a lot to do with transformations and the waning crescent. So this is just about to happen for you, Aries. That part of this whole thing is just about to come through for you. And that might even happen before we really get into 2022. That might be coming in for you at the end of 2021. So now we're going to look at the final house, which is the 12th house. And this is about transformations also, but it's the ending of cycles. Can also have to do with incarceration and one's psychic attunement. So we have Neptune there. Neptune is about the relationship with the higher power. That's going to be very important for you come the end of 2022. And when these endings are brought in, I just heard Deus Ex Machina. So there might be some kind of Hail Mary pass that gets thrown at the end of the year for you in 2022. We have Virgo. Now Virgo is a very analytical, somewhat borderline, neurotic sign, right? And here we're dealing with it in the 12th house, where it's in its detriment. Because Virgo, of course, is native to the 6th house. Virgo likes to be able to see all the little details and keep track of them. So this Neptune in Virgo energy is going to be a lot about writing down your dreams. A lot about documenting the intangible. Trying to document the intangible. And we do have as the card for this house, bringing it full circle from the lunar eclipse with the solar eclipse. And the solar eclipse, of course, occurs when the moon passes between the sun and the earth and blocks out the sun's light. You could be in the path of totality for a solar eclipse. You could be in a place where you're able to see both the lunar and solar eclipses in 2022. And this might open up a lot of new possibilities for you, Aries. So now the final thing that we're going to do is the bibliomancy. And of course, I picked the prehistory of the far side for the bibliomancy. So what do we have here? Okay, so I'll show you the panel. He says, frankly, you've got a lot of anger towards the world to work out, Mr. Pembrose. And then you see that it's just this eyeball, like, on the couch. So people wondered what was going on with that. Gary Larson just felt like that name, Mr. Pembrose, sounded right. The eyeball is supposed to be resting on the couch, but that's kind of part of it too, is that the eyeball kind of looks like one of the buttons on the sofa. And that his dealings with the world had kind of ended up leaving him feeling severely depleted, but that the therapist isn't focusing on what has happened to Mr. Pembrose here, right? The therapist's focus is on the fact that Mr. Pembrose apparently harbors a lot of resentment about what's been done to him, right? So these are comics that maybe did or did not quite work for Gary Larson. But I think in this particular case, there are going to be a lot of situations occurring throughout 2022 about which you can choose to harbor resentment, or you can choose to pick up what's left of yourself and move forward and realize that you'll lose a lot less of yourself if you don't let people carve those chunks out of you. And honestly, part of having those chunks carved out of you is allowing others to poison you against yourself. Alright, Aries, well, thank you for joining me for your 2022 deluxe forecast. I hope you got a lot out of it, and I look forward to seeing you again very, very